Clearview Chronicles is dedicated to African affairs, politics, security, economics, diplomacy, and the changing forces shaping the continent. Africa is changing. The rise of General Tchiani, how Niger's presidential guard took the state. For years, Niger sat at the center of one of West Africa's most intense geopolitical struggles. It was a frontline state in the Sahel insurgency. It hosted Western security partnerships. It became central to French, American, and regional counter-terror operations. Then, in July 2023, that balance broke. At the center of it was Abdourahamane Tchiani, a longtime presidential guard commander, who moved from the shadows of state protection to the center of state power. Before the coup, the man behind the palace. Before becoming head of state, Tchiani spent years leading the presidential guard in Niamey. That position mattered. In many Sahel states, presidential guards are not ceremonial units. They are often elite formations, heavily armed, politically trusted, positioned close to decision-making. By the time of the 2023 crisis, Tchiani already controlled one of the most strategically important armed institutions in the country. That meant access. That meant leverage. And when pressure inside the political system rose, it also meant capability. The July 2023 rupture. On July 26, 2023, soldiers detained elected President Mohamed Bazoum inside the presidential compound. Within hours, the military announced the removal of the civilian government and the creation of the National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland. At first, the move appeared uncertain. Regional governments condemned it. ECOWAS threatened sanctions and even discussed possible military intervention, but the coup leadership moved quickly. On July 28, Tchiani emerged publicly as the new leader of the state. That moment was important. It showed the takeover was not simply a barracks mutiny. It was an organized power transfer centered around command of the presidential security apparatus. Why the coup gained internal traction? The junta justified its move through security. Its argument was direct. Despite years of foreign support, jihadist violence had not been defeated. That message resonated with part of the public. Across the Sahel, frustration had been building over. Persistent insurgent attacks, rural insecurity, distrust of political elites, skepticism toward foreign military partnerships. For many supporters, the coup was framed not as ideological revolution, but as state survival. That framing became politically powerful, a turning point in foreign policy. After the takeover, Niger rapidly changed external alignment. France. The new authorities demanded the departure of French military forces. United States. American military cooperation came under heavy pressure, including future uncertainty around drone operations. Russia. Moscow's influence expanded in public debate and regional security discourse. This did not mean Niger became purely pro-Russian. It meant Niamey was redefining strategic sovereignty. That shift placed Niger firmly inside the broader Sahel realignment already visible in Mali and Burkina Faso. From junta leader to formal president. In March 2025, Tchiani moved from military ruler to formal transitional head of state. He was sworn in as president for a 5-year transition period under a new charter replacing the previous constitutional framework. He was also elevated to the rank of Army General. That was a major institutional moment. It meant the military leadership was no longer presenting itself only as temporary crisis management. It was building a political architecture of controlled transition. Key moves included dissolution of political parties, adoption of a 60-month transitional charter, concentration of executive authority, formal restructuring of national institutions. The AES factor. One of the biggest strategic developments was Niger's role in the alliance of Sahel States. The alliance links: Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. For Tchiani, AES became more than symbolism. It serves several functions: collective security messaging, regional military coordination, political insulation from external pressure. an alternative diplomatic center outside traditional Western-backed frameworks. That is one reason Niger's internal politics now matter beyond its borders. The contradiction at the center of power. Tchiani's legitimacy rests heavily on security. That is also his greatest vulnerability. The military takeover was justified as necessary to restore order, but insurgent pressure across the Sahel remains severe. Recent reporting suggests Niger continues facing jihadist attacks in border zones, strain on military readiness, economic stress from regional disruption, pressure on state finances and infrastructure. That creates the central political question: can military power stabilize what political systems failed to solve? Why Tchiani matters regionally. Tchiani is important not simply because he took power. He matters because he represents something larger. His rise reflects the weakening of post-Cold War political arrangements, rising sovereignty-driven politics in the Sahel, the decline of automatic Western strategic influence, the rise of military-led regional realignment. In that sense, his story is not only about Niger, it is about the new political geography of the Sahel. Clearview Chronicles closing line. General Tchiani did not rise from the opposition. He rose from inside the walls of the state itself. And in today's Sahel, that may be where the next battles for power are already being decided.